Ready to gold? Steal the brownies? The hell? Undercook the brownies lets them not be edible? What? Hello? The heck? Hi, Wild. What the heck is going on? We'll fight you all. Let's go. I'm gonna get beat up. Time to get beat up, boo boo doo. Blam! Tis time, tis time. Let it become. Tis time, tis time, tis time. Let's go! What do you mean? Do something cute. I'm not gonna do anything cute. Rah! Cup of water. Maid Boka? Oh my god. Rah! God damn it, Artie. Boka is cute. Go, go! Frick you guys. Messing with me while I'm trying to do stuff. Shut up. Damn bakas. Not like I like you guys, stupid. You're supposed to ask nicely. There's a reason there's a text box. Boka is cute. Go, go! But hey. You guys are silly. Alright, what am I reacting to again? More advisor roast, of course. Oh, there it is. Tyrion, Valoria. Okay, so we're on Gorst.
Hellman Gorst.
Gorst!
If it wasn't for Creative Assembly, I wouldn't even know your name. You've only got like 2 footnotes in here. For someone as irrelevant as you, it still baffles me that you're one of the first Lords CA added to the game. We could have had Neferata, Conrad von Karstein, the Red Duke, or Nagash. And instead, we ended up with you. You're a washed-up nobody from Podunk nowhere with a vendetta against Nurgle. Volkmar...
You have a vendetta against Nurgle, but it looks like you're from Nurgle. That's funny.
And the Mortis engine are the only reasons anyone bought your DLC. The only interesting thing about you is that Manfred liked you enough not to kill you. And in the game, you're an even bigger disappointment. You've been buffing useless units since the Obama era, and Manfred's had enough of it.
God damn it. Why we got a hash on Obama? Find these, like, little cubes called Kushkin? Feral Kushkin? Those are really good, Indris. They're really good. What do you want, Daryl? Alright, back to it.
So he's finally banished you to China. I mean, just look at your armies. There's nothing but zombie spams. I can't believe... Whoa, hold on, that's incredible. Are those actually zombies? You're shredding through those guys. This shouldn't be possible. It's a massacre. Did your entire army just come back from the dead? Of course.
He's a necromancer! Woo!
I can't believe what I'm saying. Are you good now?
The first certified Gorst moment.
Wurzag, the great green prophet. Wow, there ain't shit out here. I really want to sit down. Could you have one of your people create a chair?
That would be a waste of me powers. What's wrong with you?
I really want to discriminate against orcs, but it's kind of hard to do that with you, Wurzag. You provide massive buffs to a Tier 1 unit, allowing you to dominate the early and mid-game. And now that the stunties don't conquer entire continents like they did in Warhammer 2... This game really doesn't have a late game anymore, all according to Tzeentch's great plan. Anyway, this effectively means you can achieve a long campaign victory with just savage orcs. And since you're also an amazing spellcaster, I guess my biggest complaint is...
Mystic powers?
What the hell? You think your little tricks will work on a servant of Tzeentch? I can't believe I was praising you earlier. Okay, you asked for it.
Do your worst.
In the lore, your plot armor is the only thing that kept Grimgor from turning you into a green stain. Has anyone ever told you how stupid you look running around on that mount? Wait! Your war boar is still named Spleen Ripper. So, he specifically targets the one organ people don't need to survive? If you weren't a greenskin, I could leave the roast right there. But you're probably too stupid to notice my insult.
Wow!
Time to leave.
He teleported out. So when will Boka play the games to understand the PTSD? But I don't want PTSD!
OMG, look at you. Boka is so cute. Boka made summer.
Alithanar, king of Nagarith.
What?
Hold on, I need to check something real quick. Around the campfires of the Shadow Warriors, the true sons and daughters of Nagarith still speak of Alith Anar as a living warrior, an elf of the shadows, a mortal spirit of vengeance, bound to walk the earth until the Witch King is laid to rest. Yep, it's official. Of all the edgelords in Warhammer Total War, you are the only one who never stopped listening to Linkin Park after middle school.
There was only vengeance.
You're so cringe. I see you're on your way south to claim the Sword of Cain. Normally I would advise against that, but everyone already hates you.
Without fail.
You wouldn't consider establishing some trade agreements with other High Elves?
Not ever.
What I don't understand is why it takes you 2 turns to recruit your premier unit, the Shadow Walkers. They're literally just edgier budget versions of the Sisters of Avalorn. They aren't special enough to take 2 turns. It's incredibly selfish of them to take that long when you start out balls deep in enemy terrain.
There is no victory.
I couldn't have said it
He
better
has a
myself.
quote where he
Speaking
just
of
says
your
there is no victory. That's
starting position. Do you even care about your homeland anymore? You used to start by the bleak coast. Now you're all the way in Narnia.
Not one Druki on Nagarith.
I hate to break it to you, but there are several Druki on Nagarith. In fact, you aren't even at war with them yet.
This is not okay. This needs to stop
it's a stop.
now.
Now.
Your sworn enemies are occupying your homeland, while you're out here dick measuring with Malekith.
Why are some of these roasts so, like, savage? Oh, Mr. Batman. Thank you for the lurky, 9chan. Hello there.
Truly disgraceful. Kolek would never put up with this. And another thing, for someone who's supposed to be resilient and tenacious, how the hell do you only have 2 suitable climates? Literally every other High Elf Lord has Temperate Island as a suitable terrain.
Burden of the Shadowlands.
A terrible burden indeed.
Burden of the Shadowlands. Terrible. Wait, he's supposed to be a resilient high elf, but he only has 2 areas he can tolerate? That's funny.
I've always wanted to ask, are you secretly a Skaven?
No.
Are you sure about that?
If a creature on 2 legs spends his free time stalking women, mistrusts his own kin, uses what can only be described as an underway, sounds pretty Skaven to me.
He's calling the edgy elf a rat. He's a rat. 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 Toon King Legendary Lords. Plane of Spy. Oh, well. Me and the editor won't be going here.
Who are you again?
Why today? I'll have to watch it later. Feels I also was playing a good game too.
By all the Chaos Gods, that took you so long
Oh,
to
fun
say,
fact, Mr.
Urson
Batman
roared
over there
twice
is
while
over
you were
edgy than a
talking.
guy named the
I
Witch
really
King.
hope you never had
Don't
to say
know how
all of
nor why,
Cetra's
but he
titles.
that edgy.
You're not allowed
He
to
that
talk
edgy.
for the rest of the video. Anyway, where was I? Grand Hierophant Katep. I honestly don't know what to say about you. You're as forgettable as Helman Gorst, only without the absurd buffs that make him fascinating in Warhammer 3. It's obvious that Creative Assembly placed you on the edge of the map because they didn't trust you to survive past turn 20 with threats on multiple fronts. And now that Creative Assembly patched out the jar cheese, I'm even less likely to play as you. You're the fantasy equivalent of an underappreciated Amazon employee, literally going out of your way to please a tyrannical
You just got called an Amazon employee.
boss.
Hello?
You're so obsessed with Cetra. When he exiled you, you went along with it. No declaration
Osu?
of revenge
Well, I was playing
or
Osu.
desire
Oh
to
god.
reclaim your
I
homeland.
can't see why doing that in
Do
that
you
game.
have any idea how rare that is? Instead of starting an exciting betrayal arc that would help us remember who you are, you decided to continue serving Cetra. They don't make employees like you anymore. Hell, if Manfred's anything to go by, they haven't made employees like you since the dinosaurs lived.
Well, there are dinosaurs, so I don't understand how this works.
Yeah, I guess that metaphor doesn't work well in Warhammer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, wait a minute, there are dinosaurs right now in that universe.
Fantasy, but you know what I mean. What did I say about talking in the video? You know what? I don't care what Tzeentch wants. I'm leaving. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's like, I don't care. I'm not helping you. Frick you. Oh, he's gonna roast a actual Tzeentch faction.
Who shall I be today?
Oh, Changeling the Great Deceiver. Normally I'd be thrilled to advise a fellow servant of Tzeentch, but you spend more time being anyone but Tzeentch for me to truly like you. Ah, see what I mean, you shameless thespian? Of all the hideous creatures you could turn into, why'd you go and do that? Hurry and change into anything else. That's much better. I'm gonna be honest, I was only looking forward to your DLC so I could get a tanky hero for Cathay, but I guess I'll settle for the Gate Master. Don't worry, I'll take that out on the real Yuan Bo when I see him.
Like, I love that a lot of the context I'm missing, but I can still, like, understand that he's being savage.
Cathay aside, your DLC was the greatest disappointment since the Chaos Warriors. And yes, you're part of the problem too. I'm sorry, Changeling, but it's hard to take your campaign seriously when there's no real stakes. You're already the most overpowered race in the game, and now your campaign is impossible to lose. You can throw away your armies faster than the French in World War I, and you'll still be fine. Anyway, now that I've got you, I'm curious. Who do you become in the bedroom? Of course, you'd be a Skaven.
No, that's funny. That's hilarious.
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
He's like, of course you're a rat. Play on floating Chaos Island.
Fuck that Lord of Change, I swear to God of all chaos. I will personal find him first every time I make a Empire campaign. I hope I burn from the blue hell I glow from.
Someone does not like the squiggly man.
He's supposed to be right here. Normally I'd never believe it, but he's got a history of causing trouble in the Chaos Realms. Honestly, between him and the Changeling, it's hard to say who's done more damage here. Lord Tzeentch, is this my punishment for mocking the Changeling in the last video? You manipulated this stupid book to take me through 20 different regions just for me to wind up back at home. I can't believe every single climate is suitable for Oxyotl. This asshole could be anywhere. Of course, he's silent when I need answers. I'm not getting paid enough for this. I should have known the book wasn't lying. Hopefully Lord Tzeentch doesn't smite me for blasphemy. I'm not gonna lie, OxyClean, I had a hard time finding you. Almost as hard as finding you anywhere on the campaign map after turn 20. I'll admit you provide some pretty ridiculous buffs to skinks, elevating them from worthless to downright terrifying. But your skink army's so awful in auto-resolve, it's a miracle you win any battles at all. Like, how is this even possible? I could AFK this battle and still win. We all know the Silence and the Fury DLC was just a fantastic Beastman overhaul, with your faction reluctantly added at the last minute because Creative Assembly felt bad. You're the 7th legendary lord to join the Lizardmen roster. And just like every previous DLC, the Silence and the Fury highlighted the other legendary lord in your package. That the Lizardmen were overshadowed by the Empire, and the Skaven is nothing to be ashamed of. Both of those factions are wildly popular and generate ridiculous profits for Creative Assembly. But the fact that you were overshadowed by the Beastmen is laughable. Truly an embarrassment.
He's leaving!
Kolik and I had a good laugh about that. Honestly, OxyClean, if your lore wasn't so cool, I doubt anyone would play as you. Hold on a second. Where'd he go? How long has he been gone? Don't tell me I need to hunt him down again and repeat all of this. I feel bad for Torox now. No wonder he's so mad all the time.
He just left. He was leaving. That's funny. I love that. Supreme Patriarch is once again asking for your support.
Balthazar Gelt, Supreme Patriarch of the Empire. I'll admit, I'm not a huge fan of how you acquired your title as the Magister Patriarch of the Gold Order. But Tzeentch works in strange and mysterious ways. I have to assume this was all.
Why is it a rendition of the 007 opening song? I know that tone anywhere.
Great plan. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm supposed to ridicule you in these videos, but you're one of my favorite Order-tied factions in the game. Now, Creative Assembly.
This is the guy that, like, what does he do? He's like the, like, I'm rich, so I can do this. Yeah, he's the recession guy.
Boka so pretty Bokath one wow.
Not pretty! Dangerous.
Has finally updated your campaign mechanics to be unique from the rest of the Empire. It's incredibly fun to abuse your authority as the Supreme Patriarch and dilute the Empire with mass-produced gold.
By my will alone!
What's political power without a healthy dose of corruption? And I have a soft spot for corruption myself. I also appreciate that there's a 3-turn cooldown on your ability to conjure gold out of thin air. It wouldn't do to completely destroy the economy. Although if your lore is anything to go by, that gold will probably turn to lead soon. You might want to return to the Empire before the dragons notice this. I don't think your social credit score can take the hit.
He's coming for you!
Speaking of mass-produced, your new campaign mechanics allow you to churn out mages, crippled with student loans, faster than the United States colleges. Talk about an overpowered mechanic. Do you have any idea how hard it is for other legendary lords to recruit mages? The stunties have to cheese the Skaven endgame crises, and Kostaltin can't get one until at least turn 20, and that's if it's the first thing he goes for. Meanwhile, you can mass-produce 30 mages before either of them acquire one.
I am supreme!
Damn right you are. Once you acquire your Pegasus and the Staff of Volans, you're basically unstoppable on the battlefield.
Lord of Metal!
It's reassuring to talk to someone else who also suffers from effortless superiority.
Bow before me!
Gelt, I was looking through your lore. Just wow.
Wow.
I'm at a loss for words. This lore ranges from impressive to so batshit crazy I'm having trouble believing.
Yeah, like, when we learned about his lore, I was like, the hell? How's this guy not dead yet?
It. It's crazy how much stuff you have in here. Kemler, Gorst, Katep, the Changeling, and Nakai put together didn't have as much lore as you. I guess there's something irresistible about a man who's intelligent enough to understand what a war crime is and blatantly commits them anyway.
I will not lie. The chances of your survival are small.
But isn't it far better to die in a blaze of glory than live in fear?
Ready for war!
Oh, we certainly are. We certainly are.
He really is a war criminal.
Don't forget
He
to
is
like
supreme.
and subscribe.
Everything I hear about him screams war criminal and how are you alive? In a land of dragons. Dragons would have... The reason he's still alive is dragons love money. So they let him get away with a bit of war crimes. Where's Nakai? Ooh, Alligator Man!
Nakai the Wanderer. There he goes again. Slow down, my old bones aren't enjoying this. Nakai the Wanderer, we all know. Okay, I guess we aren't staying still in this video. At least he's easier to find than the Changeling or Oxyotl. Nakai the Wanderer, you honestly should have just been a legendary hero. At least that way some of us would play as you during our few Lizardmen campaigns. You're proof that Horde factions will always be the subpar, malnourished children of Creative Assembly. You can deny it all you want, but a year ago the devs patched out your ability to recruit sacred Croxigors. They literally prevented you from recruiting the main unit you were supposed to buff. It was months before they patched it. That never would have happened if the devs at Creative Assembly actually cared about your campaign. Unfortunately, your campaign will always feel boring and uninspired. The buffs from your vassals are poor substitutes for actually owning the settlements. Okay, thank the Chaos Gods, you finally stopped. And a battle's about to take place. Good grief, Nakai, are you a servant of Tzeentch? How on earth did you know a pitched battle was about to take place here?
Boka, Gelt is
like
for
the
some
internet
reason living in the
exists
place
this
that
universe.
equivalent to Vietnam. So basically the Fortune Sun is his theme song now.
There's literally no explanation for this in your lore.
He just knows, man. He lives the battle. He can sense in his bones when the fight's about to start.
Well, at least his battle animations are fun to watch. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Who's this guy? Can we get some Ogre Kingdom? Ooh, you guys like ogres, right? Endscreen Valley.
Greaser's gold tooth.
That won't work.
Man's fat. Man's eating a piece of meat. Why has he got treasure on his cart? Like, aren't you supposed to be fighting?
My apologies, your overweightness. Trade Lord, Greasus, Tribe Stealer, Drake Crush, Gate Crasher, Horde Master, Goldtooth, the shockingly obese. I could sum up everything about you by saying that you like to eat and leaving there. But I really hate you, so I've got a lot to say. Of all the races in Warhammer Fantasy, the two I currently stay the farthest away from are Daniel and yours. I've always wondered what would happen if a fat, stereotypical American who peaked in high school became a legendary lord in Warhammer Total
Wow!
War. Thanks to you, Greasus, I now know.
Croesus is better than that.
No, you aren't. You're a filthy abomination, barely less disgusting than a servant of Nurgle. I'll never understand the insane priorities of the ogres. You people must be incredibly stupid. The fact that you can command anyone from a scooter is baffling, much less become the de facto leader of your entire race. By the way, in civilized cultures, you don't inherit wealth from parents you eat. You stab them in the back, the humane way.
He ate his parents? Hello? Yeah, I wouldn't want to play him.
Explain this to you.
Message of for lesser tyrants.
Imagine if Karl Franz had a weak chin. If that terrible parallel universe exists, then soldiers flocking to die under his banner would still make more sense than an entire race of idiots serving a cannibalistic obese asshole. I hear you have an all-consuming desire to conquer everything you see. Well, it's a good thing you're too fat to stand up and move around.
Can't be bothered.
And don't even pretend I'm scared of you. No one is scared of you. Zhao is too busy unifying Cathay to bother you for anything beyond a trade agreement. Gorst is busy with Kugath, and Grimgor is going to pound town on the Chaos Dwarfs. Any one of those factions could obliterate you if they desired. You just aren't worth the effort. That and you're so ugly no one wants to look at you.
Wow, the savagery.
Look, I've already rambled for too long about my general racism against ogres.
Redacted against ogre. Win a battle against Ogre Kingdom's passive ability Horde Master.
I'm not gonna drag out this video further to rail against your mediocre campaign mechanics, especially when Creative Assembly will rework your faction later this year. Hopefully Goal last part of his name will get me demonetized. Man-Eater doesn't disappoint me as much as you. I'm leaving. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's funny. He's like, he did not like that, man. Let us roast Ungrim Iron Fist, the failure Slayer King. Ungrim. Is this a dwarf? Yeah, a dwarf. I thought Iron Fist sounded dwarfish.
Ungrim Iron Fist.
I am the Slayer King.
I won't lie, Ungrim. It's exciting to get to talk to you before Karazakarak confederates your faction. Oh, I see they already confederated you.
This will not take me to my death.
I mean, you do start a stone's throw away from them. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Perhaps that's for the best. Your factions might as well be the same. It's a good thing the devs added Thorek and Malachi to the dwarf roster. Before their inclusion, every dwarf lord was a barely unique, tanky melee fighter. Ungrim, you were supposed to break that mold. Instead, you're as boring as the rest of them. Only instead of providing impressive faction-wide bonuses, you buff some of the worst units in the game.
Why is it? What the hell is this guy? Why is he? What kind of pants are those? A man's wearing clown pants.
And what's up with your faction effects? Plus 10% speed.
I grow restless.
I guess that makes you pretty fast. For a dwarf.
For a dwarf. I'm guessing dwarves have low speed to begin with.
Seriously, plus 10% speed. That might be good if you were Bretonia, but for dwarves, that's barely 3 points of speed. 3 points, what a joke. Kolek would never put up with that.
Doubtful.
Speaking of jokes, it's a shame you only buff Slayers. Even after the new Slayer units Malachi added to the game, Slayers are still laughable in
Where's the clown pants ones?
combat.
These ones are wearing Christmas pants. Why are they all missing a leg? Do you eat legs? Hello? The heck is wrong with
yes,
you guys?
the Slayer
No
King,
way.
the King of
And
Slayer,
speaking of Slayers,
the baby
I'm
dragon
not sure if
Slayer,
you're the best
the Slayer
Slayer
that
or the
slay the
worst
baby
Slayer to
dragon.
exist.
The thing on his
In your
left shoulder
defense,
is a head of
you're
a
an
baby
impressive
dragon.
Slayer because Grimnir
Wait,
himself
really?
chose you, and you have a host of impressive achievements in battle. But there's also a host of evidence indicating that you're the worst Slayer in the world. In the first place, the very fact that you're a Slayer King is a ridiculous oxymoron. You don't see Belagar rushing off to die in battle, and he has way more to be ashamed of than you.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
What the
Secondly,
hell?
during the end times, when your city eventually fell, the
I don't like this guy. Frick this man. Frick him.
only survivors were you and other Slayers. The great horned rat must have a dark sense of humor. Talk about a cruel joke.
Karak Kadrin weeps. Ah, to die in battle.
Finally, you have armor. Like a ridiculous amount of armor. You do realize Slayers aren't supposed to wear any armor? Not even Malachi has armor, and he's constantly around explosives. Are you sure you even want to die in battle?
The Slayer in me seeks death.
I should leave before you get any silly ideas.
Begone.
Alright, I'm leaving. Thank the Chaos Gods I didn't get shot this time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Getting shot this time was talking to a man with an axe.
Not in this life or the next.
Just ignore him. You made it this far into the video, you might as well subscribe.
I don't like him. Frick him. And yeah, like, if your entire class is not supposed to wear armor, why the hell do you have armor?
Malachi Makai-son.
What?
Unlike the rest of the stunties, I don't have too many horrible things to say about you, Malachi. In fact, you're so cool, it wouldn't surprise me if the elves handed you the coveted knife ear pass.
Why?
My greatest grudge against you is how long it took you to join the dwarf roster. just as the writers of the Skywalker saga felt around anyone remotely
Good.
competent.
Have to teach
I
Boka
suspect
young.
the other
Let the
dwarves were
hate
too
get to you.
intimidated
And his
by your
defeat rate is
superior
pretty
and
good.
unique
So
campaign
kill him.
mechanics
Kill
to
him every
include
time you
in
see
the
that
game.
dwarf.
Despite
Yeah, kill him.
first appearing in Warhammer 1, it took the dwarves 5 more years than the Skaven to get a legendary lord who buffs gunpowder units. And since you only really buff flying machines and artillery, your buffs still aren't as valuable as Ikit claws. While I'm on the topic, I should point out that historically speaking, many of your buffs have not gone well. Your dwarf Ironclad, the Unsinkable, sunk on its maiden voyage, and your Thunder Barge, the Indestructible, catastrophically exploded.
The past is the past.
The resulting PR disaster forced you to leave the Engineer Guild and take the Slayer Oath. Technically, that same Slayer Oath gives you the Unbreakable attribute, but with your track record, I wouldn't be surprised if you routed in battle.
Back off!
From now on, just name your invention something normal like Farl Kranz or Fotrek and Gelix.
Why is the dwarf tall and the man small?
Absolutely not. No exceptions.
Trust me, the internet will love it. Malachi, my biggest complaint with your campaign comes down to the units you buff. This game takes so long to develop cities to the tiers where you can actively recruit the units you buff, that by the time you can recruit those units, you've already wiped out Throg, Throt, Wulfric, and Archaon. Furthermore, some of your campaign objectives require you to travel to the farthest corners of the map. Until the developers get around to making the late game of Warhammer 3 comparable to the late game of Warhammer 2, I can't see myself playing your campaign long enough to ever get those buffs. In short, your campaign...
Yeah, you got shot for that. You were asking for it. Called him short.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
He's running away.
I'm gonna need a break to heal from this, but I'll be back. That's what I get for trusting a stunty. I won't go so easy on the rest of them.
Oh, fun fact, this MF actually buffs Slayer. The Slayer that the Slayer King that didn't have, he have, but it isn't that good. Short.
Do Noctilus next. Noctilus sounds like a vampire, you know. Hey, look at that.
Count
Book is smart.
Noctilus.
All will serve.
You know, it feels like just the other. Good grief, what's that noise? Turn that down! That idiot couldn't edit a reaction video without me holding his hand. Where was I? Count Noctilus. It feels like just the other day I
He turned down the waterfall.
was having this same conversation with Niklaus von Karstein of Sylvania. He reminded me of you.
I reject this.
Deny it all you want, but out of 4 von Karsteins, the players of Warhammer 3 are least likely to pick you.
Fear me.
Oh, don't feel too bad. Isabella's basically just a legendary hero these days, and Conrad didn't even make it into the game. Come to think of it, Neferata hasn't made it into the game either, and we've been edging to prepare for her arrival since 2021. She has a lot to answer for. I won't lie, Noctilus, there is something fascinating about you. Perhaps it's the childish desire I've had ever since watching Pirates of the Caribbean, to live out the male fantasy of becoming a ruthless cog in Davy Jones' crew. Or more accurately, a slightly different version of Davy Jones that Games Workshop can conveniently copyright.
Is he basically Davy Jones? That's funny. I keep going into the TV. That's funny that he's basically Davy Jones.
Sailing and plundering across the 7 seas with a bottle of brandy and a dirty sea shanty. The
Dirty
only
sea
problem with
shanty.
that fantasy is there's no naval combat in this game. It honestly
Basically Davy Jones. No navy, no sea combat. Well, guess you're useless then.
fascinates me that Games Workshop gave the green light to add a bunch of forgettable pirate factions without also giving the license for naval combat. I don't know what kind of skooma they're snorting up there, but I want to try it.
I actually don't have anything funny to say to him.
I'm grateful you didn't take too long sticking your castle into that whirlpool.
Darkness comes.
You coming here
You guys need to stop with the... Nope, nope, I'm not even gonna...
probably gave you the ability to recruit Necrofex Colossus in one turn. Talk about an overpowered mechanic. Hopefully Nakai takes some notes, because you even have enough buffs to actually pester the High Elves, and for that, you have my begrudging respect.
Get out of my sight.
Okay, I'm leaving. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
No need to beg.
I love that he has quotes that just happen to fit in there. That's funny. Guys, it's Asmongold!
Are you Rasputin poorly drawn from memory?
I am Constantin,
Oh, my bad, right. You are Kostaltin.
No, you're Asmongold.
Supreme Patriarch, first of the Bear Cult. I am the Orthodoxy.
Right, first of the Orthodoxy, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
If I wanted to say a long list of titles, I'd be talking to Cetra right now.
Suffer for eternity.
I'd rather
Eternity.
not. Kostaltin, I honestly don't even know where to start on what's wrong with you. It's almost like Creative Assembly looked at everything that made Volkmar cool and thought, but what if he was cringe? Kostaltin, in the Russian version of A Christmas Carol, the ghost of Christmas past, shows Rasputin you, to terrify him and force him to change his ways. You're such a sad Rasputin knockoff, I almost feel bad for you. Instead of advising a Russian queen providing mystical healing powers and surviving multiple assassination attempts, you can't even get a single woman from the Ice Court to join your faction. I don't understand why you can't just get along with Katarin. It's not like you have a shortage of enemies nearby. Even with the incredible buffs your faction provides.
Wow, -40 with the faction of the Ice Court. Is there a way you can still, like, diplomatically align with the Ice Court? Or is, like, the -40 basically saying, there's no way, man?
Patriarchs. Your campaign is one of the hardest in the game. Would it kill you to touch some grass and not shout slurs at the females in your faction?
I refuse such heresy.
He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna keep shouting at him.
I'm clearly not getting through to you, so I'm gonna phone a friend to really drive this point home.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Since I'm already giving you an existential crisis, are you absolutely sure you aren't supposed to be part of the vampire counts? You're described multiple times in the lore, and I quote, as having a ghoulish appearance.
Blasphemy!
And why on earth
Blasphemy!
do you have longer claws than Marathi? Religious fervor is no excuse for you to neglect basic hygiene.
Basic hygiene!
Orthodoxy forbids it.
And speaking of your religion, how does it feel to know that the god of your cult became fertilizer for Bellacor's cultivation? How will your religion stand without its foundation?
Go! Go!
Okay, I'm leaving.
You're supposed to say it, but not because you told me to. Right, who's this? Wolfric the Wanderer.
LMFAO Lamau Lamau Boka, I never saw this outfit. LMFAO Lamau,
Where's
never
my
knew you
neck?
had arms.
Shut up!
Next quarry.
Wolfric the Wanderer. Hey, slow down, you restless barbarian. Sinch sent me to speak with you. Okay, you can stop that. This isn't a tariff video.
I will not.
For crying out loud, you even got a rework. You're at least in the Iron Age now.
Not a chance.
Trust me, some of us are smart enough to remember 2021, and your campaign has improved dramatically since the Norska rework.
What
Monkey.
trickery is this?
What trickery is this? Monkey.
Just hear me out. One of your biggest flaws before the rework came from public order penalties, but now you can gain 5 faction-wide public order just from your quest battle, 5 more from your new tech tree, and another 2 from your starting settlement. Your public order really went from broke to broken overnight. I also remember despising your campaign back in Warhammer 2 because I couldn't build walls to defend my settlements. It's nice to know they changed that in... Okay, what the hell is an unwalled settlement battle? Absolutely not. This is unacceptable. How do you expect a bunch of shitty marauders to defend an unwalled settlement from late-game armies? Seriously, at Tier 3, this abysmal garrison is still weaker than your starting army.
This is folly.
I want to argue with you, but I completely agree. Fixed garrisons are still one of my biggest complaints with the newer Total War games. Only a handful of races have a chance with their default garrisons. I guess...
Wait, I don't understand that. Why won't they let them build walls?
Norska maintains the sports ball philosophy
Like, you can literally just put stakes in the ground.
of having a great offense to make up for their terrible defense. No wonder y'all are raiding all the time. Now that I think about it, even after your rework, there's really no point in occupying minor settlements. Your economy buildings are about as useless as Norscan cavalry. They even nerfed the loot piles.
Bruh.
I guess that leaves raising minor settlements and dedicating them to a chaos god. When one of the options reduces upkeep, there's really no option here. After all, mammoth stacks don't grow on trees. I guess the developers knew no one would pick Slaanesh if they didn't offer that.
Undeniable.
For someone known for their ruthlessness, I'm a little surprised your starting trait increases your reinforcement range. That's surprisingly altruistic of you. How does it feel to know that soon you won't be the legendary lord carrying the most skulls?
That's laughable.
Are you sure about that?
Impossible. My challenge? Undeniable.
He's got a cape of skulls. The
Calm
hell?
down, Wulfric. This dude's literally called Skull Taker. It's hard to
They
compete
can't
with
build
that. You
walls.
should just
They
acknowledge
might need
that your
Trump
time
to
in
make
the
one.
skull-taking spotlight is over.
I will not.
And as far as your lore goes, wow, there's actually a lot here. Oh, I get it now. We've been hunting people in your lore throughout this video.
The eternal challenger.
I will say, it's a real shame that your legendary ship Seafang only functions as a mediocre combat spell. Your faction or your army should at least get some extra campaign movement from this thing, considering the ship literally allows you to teleport in the lore.
Fool! Seafang's ready.
Okay then. I guess I'll leave too now.
Wait, his like special ability is only just a ship for a few seconds? That's funny. It definitely feels like some of these characters got very, like, they got glanced at, we're like, yeah, sure, put that in. And then left it alone after that. Bellicor win. Jagrath Strand.
Bellicor.
Man's got some arms.
What the heck? You're completely
Man's arms okay?
unrecognizable. I told Kairos time travel was a bad idea. Just stay right here. I'll be back.
What?
Okay, much
Imagine
better.
if they made this 3D RPG style
Yes, sorry for
multiplayer
keeping
in
you
a
waiting,
large-scale
Bellicor,
setting.
The first damned Lord of Torment, the first undivided demon prince. It's not every day I get to advise a fellow advisor. Perhaps this video is already too meta.
Call me master.
Absolutely not. You're an advisor and a pawn of the Chaos Gods, just like me.
This is false.
Oh, so in that case, I'm sure you were thrilled to present the crown of domination to Archaon.
No.
Exactly. You can lie to me, Bellicor. I'm used to it. Advisors lie all the time, but don't lie to yourself. You're a washed-up advisor without any friends, well past your prime, stranded in England and beset by hordes of enemies.
Not this time.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, bud. Good grief, you're like a broken record. Gortrek and Felix are the only reasons anyone
I like that they're the right size now, what?
knew about you before Warhammer 3.
Time to break them.
I was looking forward to roasting Manfred for all his duplicitous scheming, but in hindsight, he's just another player in a game you created. You've been scheming and backstabbing everyone from the lowliest marauder to the 4 Chaos Gods long before Manfred existed.
The first.
That wasn't supposed to be a compliment. You know what? Never mind. And as for your lore, I have to hand it to you, Be'lakor. You're one of the few legendary lords to have lore in Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k. I guess Games Workshop hated you enough to let 2 different fan bases fight you.
They shall fall.
How the hell did you manage to entrap Urson in the Forge of Souls anyway? You had to have tricked him. I always told Boris that bears were stupid creatures. The Kislevites shouldn't have created a bear god. It was never going to end well. Speaking of things that were never going to end well, what did you think would happen when you challenged the Chaos Gods?
I shall scar you.
Good
Are they
grief,
fighting?
I'm getting too old for this. I feel like I'm starting to burn out on these videos, so if y'all want to hop in my Discord and give me suggestions for the next script, that would be really helpful. I'll see y'all again Saturday.
Alright, we'll watch one more. Elsbeth. Vampire?
Elspeth von Draken.
I love this constantly happening. He's right there. The invisible guy is right there. He's always in the video, like just in a stupid location.
Wait. The video just started. I'm sorry I let Gelt into Nuln during his video. I know you two have some kind of petty wizard money gang beef.
If you hope to walk off with my treasures, you will not have a chance to hope again.
No, nothing like that, I promise. He just wanted to hit up his old Warhammer 2 stomping grounds.
The Empire is torn asunder, and you distract me with this pettiness.
I can see we're off to a great start. I'm not sure how to feel about you. You look like one of the Hex girls from Scooby.
I love the Hex Girls. Ugh, fine.
For the last time, adding death magic into the bullets don't make it deadlier. Bullets kill.
And while that should repulse me, the early 2000s coded a perverse attraction into my younger brain.
Hey, they're cute.
Such wild, forlorn hopes.
Still, I much prefer you with Mixu's reskin, so we're going to keep that Instagram.
The reskin's pretty nice. I agree with this.
Filter on for the rest of this video.
Oh, rejection.
I should warn you though, if you're trying to compete with Marathi for Dommy Mummy of Warhammer, you're fighting an uphill battle. Likewise, your lore is equally concerning, and I quote, "For 3 generations, the name of Elspeth von Draken has been spoken of in hushed tones in the reeking tavern gutters and vaulted noble halls of Nuln alike. And for 3 generations, her lonely blackened tower has stood at the edge of the gardens of Moor on the outskirts of the great city, and stories of the graveyard rose have been used to frighten recalcitrant children. From this introduction, I can't tell if those drunks at Games Workshop wanted you to be a dommy mommy witch or a frightening town drunk."
We convene at dusk, just as my power waxes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. What kind of unhinged, subtle power play is that? Only a town drunk would say something that ridiculous with a straight face.
Oh.
At least you had a strong showdown against Nurgle in the end times. I'm always happy to hear about a good fight
Wait, they have bullets? They're like death magic and they have bullets?
against Nurgle. As an advisor, I can't begin to say how proud it makes me to hear that you intentionally sent Theodore Bruckner to his death. Very poggers.
All I do in the name of the Empire.
Don't worry, Elspeth. If I could, I would also sacrifice subordinates to a higher power.
That was the jab to her campaign mechanic. She adds dead magic into gun units. But bullets kill, adding death magic does make it special.
It does not make it special.
That you aren't really an elector count.
You have thoughts on Imperial matters?
On second thought, never mind. Well, I've already commented on your drip and your lore, but what I'm most concerned about are your
Immune to vampiric attrition. Or death magic ability Darkwalker. Upkeep for gunnery unit. She's a gunnery character with death magic? Huh?
campaign mechanics.
Yes.
Is it really necessary to attach death magic onto bullets? Hell, why stop there? Is it really necessary to attach death magic onto one of the strongest artillery units in the game?
I protect the Empire, either side of the grave.
It's a good thing overkill is so popular, or you'd be getting some serious investigations by the IRS for misappropriating your funds. Ikit Claw would be proud.
Send these spirits to Mor's realm.
The sad truth, Elspeth, is that the AI aren't strong enough to pose a threat to your campaign yet. Once you get your dragon and the pale scythe, you essentially
I knew I liked her.
become a one-woman doomstack. And I know from personal experience that just 2 of your Amethyst Outriders can delete an army. In short, you have a very satisfying campaign.
I have torn myself from my studies for this.
Much like the Warhammer fanbase, it looks like I'm terrible with women. Oh well, I guess I'll be going too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you all again on Wednesday.
That's funny. Alright. We're probably gonna do one more of these, it looks like. Yeah. We'll probably get through one or two more of these. That was pretty good. Got me up. Okay.
I'd like some strawberry cheesecake and a hot chocolate made boca.
No. Treat it yourself. Baka. Yabaka!
I'll take a black coffee.
Sounds good. Alright, it's my lunchtime.